of having Mr. Fernando Sepa. Now we are honored to hear from him as a speaker. With a distinguished career as a photojournalist, former deputy editor at ABS-CBN News, and a mentor in the field of visual storytelling, he has shaped the industry through his work with Business World, the Associated Press, and the Photojournalist Center of the Philippines. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Fernando Sepa Jr.
Thank you. Konting pasensya, alam ko gusto niya nang magkarapon. Pero konti na lang to. Medyo bibilisan ko na kasi 20 minutes lang yung binigay sa akin. So, former yan kasi noong November 30, na-lay off ako sa ABS-CBN. But that's another story. Ito tayo ngayon. Lahat tayo photographer, di ba? Lahat may cellphone. Tapos lahat gusto kumuha pag may nangyayari. Kaya that's the crowd nowadays pag may event. Lahat gustong maging photographer. But I'm very proud of your school kasi may dedicated event just for photojournalism. That's very important. Bakit? Dadalhin ko sana kayo sa journey ko as a journalist kasi title nga ng presentation ko, Visual Journalist Journey. Kaso mahaba yun, 30 years yun. Kaya papasok ko na lang yung part na history about myself. Idadaan ko lang kayo. Tapos punta tayo sa lesson for today. Okay, meron pa akong 90 minutes. Ano naalala niyo sa EJK na article? Meron ba at the top of your head, right away, may maalala kayong article na sinulat about EJK? Taas lang ng kamay, kahit hindi na kayo sumunod. May naalala kayong article? Specific article na about EJK. Pero alam niyo yung EJK? Alam niyo lahat? Okay, bakit niyo naalala yun? Dahil dito. Dahil dito sa mga pictures na to. This is one of those pictures. But that's the power of photojournalism. Even if we don't remember the articles anymore, we still remember this picture. That's the power of images. In fact, I hasten to say, if the photojournalist didn't stay behind to document the EJK, then the world wouldn't have known about the drug war. Or the story would not become so relevant. Or I even dare say, our Nobel laureate, who present ni Archie, si Maria Ressa, wouldn't have won that award because that award is for defending press freedom. It's not, it's for the whole journalists in the Philippines for defending press freedom. And this laid the seed about that fight for press freedom. Because some of the photojournalists stayed behind and covered not only the death but the aftermath of those victims of the drug war. So, kung ganun ka-importante ang pictures, anong gagawin natin ngayon? Sabi, if I do a job in 30 minutes, pag nag-cover ka nga ng isang event, it's because I spent 10 years learning how to do that in 30 minutes. You owe me for the years of, and not the minutes. I'm telling you the story of a journalist here. 30 years ako nagpa-practice. So times 3 yung mabayad mo sa akin na 10 years. 30 years of practice for this. So I can tell you a story about storytelling or visual storytelling. So how did I start? Very quickly. I exposed myself to good photographs. Nabanggit yung mga di ba? Yung, ngayon, Google nyo na lang to, pero ang National Geographic, even before it became a TV channel, were magazines. So, nung college ako, tingin ng magazines, ng pictures, and I was exposing myself to good photographs. How are they telling the story with just images? So, I did it myself. Ay, ito, yung mga works ni William Albert Allard, ni James Nachtwey. So I did it myself. Film pa nun, makikita niyo merong mga butas-butas sa gilid, yun yung film. So I also practiced storytelling through photographs. Wherever I went. That one was in Banawe. This one, napunta ako sa Camarines Sur. Even before college, I was already taking photographs. When I became then I mentioned during the last years of the Marcos administration, there were many protests happening around the country. And so, and even in our school, syempre, leading the fight against the dictatorship then. And then, the EDSA revolution happened. And, sabi, part na pala ako ng history kasi sabi ni Archie kanina, part na ng history Philippine Collegian. And like yourselves, I was a campus journalist. I was part of the Philippine Collegian nung latter part of the Marcos administration, nung fight nga against the dictatorship. So nung ang UP nun, sabi niya nga, parang national daily, parang national newspaper. We were not only covering campus issues, but what was happening around the country. So yung EDSA, we covered it, ayun si Gory. And this picture, kind of prophetic kasi antena yan ng ABS-CBN, and I eventually worked for ABS-CBN. And ang description sa EDSA, it's near bloodless revolution. Kasi meron rin konting namatay, mga 3 sundalo. And this was one of them being brought down the antenna of ABS-CBN. So I captured the end of the Marcos administration with this photograph. Ayan, mas napapublish nga namin sa Philippine Collegian as a student journalist like yourselves. Tapos after, meron pang mga kudeta na nangyari, kinover din namin yung, parang talaga kaming dyaryo na national publication. And we even published a book noong 87-88, a compilation of photographs during that time. Tapos my thesis was also about photography. It was the first thesis sa College of Mass Communication ng UP na photography in language. It's not a book, it's not a magazine, it's not a written paper, but photography. And the venue was a photography exhibit. So I went around with this basket merchants around Southern Luzon, Laguna, Quezon. I was there for 6 weeks with them. So by the end of the trip, nagbebenta na nga ako ng basket. Kasama sila. And that was my thesis. Pumayag naman sila. After graduating, I worked with various newspapers, Newsday, yan, we were publishing photo essays noon, kung di na kayo familiar sa dyaryo. But they devoted pages for photo essay in Newsday. It was a very visual newspaper. Kaso nag-debunk na siya, nag-transfer ako sa Business World, na-mention sa introduction. That time, wala man ng picture ang Business World. So when I entered, I started introducing images in the newspaper. Tapos I eventually transferred noong 1994 sa Associated Press. If you know the wire agencies, Reuters, Agence France-Presse, and Associated Press, it's the one owned by the Americans, the Associated Press. So we were covering earthquakes, the war in Basilan, and natapos. Then eventually I transferred to the television of the Associated Press, APTV, and we covered the war in Basilan. And I was assigned to several stories around Asia. Ito yung tsunami in Sri Lanka, which celebrated 20 years. I also covered sa Middle East. This is the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. And yung Way of the Cross sa Jerusalem. Pero TV na ako nung kaya nagsushoot lang ako ng stick photography. Kasi yung trabaho ko nung was for television. But I didn't forget my photography. I was always carrying my camera with me. A film camera. Ito sa Hurricane Katrina sa US. If you heard about it, medyo matagal na rin. Ayan. Ito, early phone camera lang yan. But I had to document it with photographs even when I was shooting for television. Anyway, fast forward, nag-retire ako from Associated Press kasi medyo marami masyadong nakakapagod mag-travel lang ang sinasabi ko sa inyo. Pag puro trabaho lang, hindi ka naman namamasyal. So I retired in 2010. Kaso ABS-CBN News refurbished their website. So I became a multimedia deputy editor for multimedia. Yun yung nakalagay sa title. And we published photos. Dati ang website nun, puro text. Pero naging image-rich siya when we developed the multimedia unit of ABS-CBN. And we published slideshows, and even the infographics was under my department. And we published, infographics, special reports, and I'll give you some of the links later. Ayan. we publish multimedia specials, yung text, video, and photos, and infographics in one pages. And some of those were won awards internationally. Yun, punta na tayo. Sorry pinasok ko lang yung journey. Pero dito talaga ang meat of the presentation. Paano kayo magkwento? Paano tayo magkwento? Pag galing kayo sa outing, sa ibang bansa, anong una nyo sinasabi sa mga kaibigan nyo? Dapat to may question na nasa, ano yun? May sumagot? Okay lang. Kasi medyo nagmamadali tayo. Ako na rin nasasagot ng ano. Di ba pag nagkikwento tayo, pare, ang ganda dun sa Tokyo, nakita mo daming ilaw, tapos ang efficient ng mga tao, ganun. O kaya pag pumunta tayo sa Boracay, di ba? Ang ganda-ganda ng beach doon. Inuuna mo yung highlight, di ba? At saka ganun ka magkwento, pagbalik mo, pare, kamusta yung trip mo sa Laguna? Ang ganda ng resort doon. Merong pool, 3 ganyan, tapos ang mainit yung tubig, swimming ka agad ako. Ina-highlight natin kaagad yung gustong marinig ng audience, di ba? Ganon din ang pagkikwento pagkikwento in pictures. Huwag ka na maiba. Dapat sabihin mo kung you have to get the interest of the audience by telling them what interest will connect to the audience. So, halimbawa, example ko rito, normally pinapakita ko to, tapos tinatanong ko yung audience ko, ano yung reaction nila. But since we're pressed for time, ako na rin ang gagawa nun. Sorry parang naging one-man stand-up comedian na. Pero, ganito, pag nung nag-cover ako ng Marawi, ikikwento ko na sa kaibigan nun, paano kamusta na sa Marawi? Wala na. Parang no man's land na talaga, walang makapasok sa Marawi, sa main battle area. Paano mo ngayon i-translate yun kung ang ginagawa mo ay photo essay, kung photography? So, kung yun na nasa isip mo, wala nang makapasok sa Marawi. Yung picture na lalabas, ganyan, di ba? I-introduce mo kagad, war zone dun. Wala na nga lumalagpas dyan, no? In pictures, pinapakita mo, parang kinikwento mo din sa kaibigan mo yung binivisualize mo. Pero in photographs, ganito mo siya i-execute. In fact, if you're writing an article, separately mo siya i-clip, ganyan mo naman siya isusulat. There was hardly a soul moving as we entered the main battle area in Marawi the first time after the war. Ayan, ginagandahan ko pa yung boses pag yung narration. Pero kung isusulat ko yan, actually sinulat ko rin yan, ganyan ko rin i-start, parang nagkikwento ko kanina sa barkada, di ba? So ibang lengguwahe oral storytelling, nagkikwento ko sa barkada mo or sa pamilya. Ibang lengguwahe yung pictures, ganyan mo siya ipapakita. Ibang lengguwahe rin yung text, ganyan mo naman siya isusulat. Kasi lahat naman kayo journalist. So next, pagpunta mo dun sa taas, wala ka nang makikita, durug-durug na lahat. Kung susulat mo naman siya, looking from above the city, the once bustling market area now looks like the ruins of Hiroshima. Alam niyo ba yung Hiroshima? Di ba, na-flatten yung part ng Japan na yun? So, merong di ba, pinapakita kang relationship sa mga alam na ng tao. Ganun mo isusulat. Pero in pictures, iba rin yung language mo. Ipakita mo. That's the desolation after the battle in Marawi. Dapat papakita mo yung setting. Next. Kung may kwento mo naman siya, yung mga tao, yung mga sundalo doon, parang aligaga. Paikot-ikot lang sila, mukhang tulala. In pictures, paano mo ikikwento yung ganyan? Papakita mo, yung mga sundalo, they look, di ba, stone. At parang battle-hardened and war-shocked. Paikot-ikot sila dun sa ruins ng war-torn Marawi. So kung susulat mo siya, ganun din. Inside, soldiers coming from the war look stoic. Nagtesaurus pa ka ng pwede ibang word, stoic. I-google ko na ito, ibig sabihin stoic. Staring blankly in the distance. That's in text. Ganun ko siya ikikwento. Pero in photograph, ganun. I don't have to describe my photograph. I will show it in images kung ano yung kalagayan ng soldiers. Kala natin yung Marawi pag malayo, di ba? Buo pa yung mga, nung nakipapanood doon sa TV, buo pa yung mga dome ng mga mosque. Hindi, paglapit mo pala ganyan na siya, durug-durug na siya. Diyan mo makikita. Moss that once stood proudly now look like skeletal remains in a ghost town. O, di ba? Medyo lyrical ka. Ibang ginagamit mong tool when you're writing a story. Iba rin yung ginagamit mong tool. Mamaya, i-itemize natin yung tools available for you in the language of the image. Ganyan naman ang gagamitin mo kung photography. Pagtingin mo doon sa ilalim ng mga building, butas-butas na pala kasi dinadaanan ko ng mga ano na nga kalaban doon? Yung mga, yung kalaban doon na ISIS, di ba? Yun. I love ISIS nga eh. Yan, inside the reminders of a wall, how ISIS lived from one building, just like rats moving from one building to another. So, iklaro ko lang iba yung pag-narrate ng text. Iba yung pag-narrate ko, pag kinikwento ko sa barkada ko, iba rin yung pag-narrate ko in pictures. I'm just showing you the approach when you're taking photographs. It's just like when I'm telling you like a barkada na kwento. Or when I'm writing it as a feature article. In pictures, ganyan yung treatment ko. May sarili siyang treatment. Ayan, So yung mga residente doon parang warsha. The Maranaos who inhabited the city now cannot distinguish the place they once lived in. Nakita nyo hindi ko dinidescribe yung photograph? When I write it, I use my own language in text, in article. But I use another language for images. Because that's the essence of doing several media in storytelling. Iba dapat ang laman ng pictures, iba dapat ang laman ng text. Hindi nagdi-describe lang ang bawat isa. That's why you have several languages in your multimedia stories. Yan, Ilan na nito? Itong Armed Forces Chief of Staff ngayon. Dati, guide lang namin sa Marawi. Pinapakita niya. Pero even siya, mukhang warshock, di ba? Kasi ilang months nangyari yung Marawi War, di ba? So, medyo warshock na talaga sila. Ayan, minsan umiikot kami. May nagkaluspos lang. Binakbakan nila yung building. Kala nila, meron pa natitirang ISIS. Kasama kami. Nandun kami. O, yan. Pero in pictures, iba rin yung treatment nila. Yung lugar, pag tinignan mo, parang ghost town. This is from the perspective, kung ikaw yung residente, nandiyan ka. Tinamahan ka na, kaya walang tao nun sa Marawi. Yun. Hindi. So, like in any kwento, may parang ending ka. So, ano na mangyayari? Hindi ko alam kung ano mangyayari sa Marawi after the war. So, the picture is also telling you that. The mood is dark. You don't know, the soldiers, you don't know where they're going, di ba? At the end of the road. Pero, merong visual element na lumilipad na ibon. What will happen to Marawi after the war? We don't know. It might lead to peace because there's a bird. Pero it's darkening. Magkukontinue mo ba yung war? You let the audience experience the visuals. Di ba? So, ganun yun, di ba? Yung pagsusulat ko rin nandun sa ilalim, parang storya din. May body, ang isang article, merong paragraph, may sentence. Ganun din ang photo essay or photography. You have the single pictures, those are your sentences. You have the photo essay, the paragraph, and when it is used for a multimedia story, pag binuo mo na lahat, nandun yung article, nandun yung pictures, that's your whole article. So your photo essay is like your paragraphs. Okay, nare-relate natin sa pagsusulat. Kasi ang pagsusulat, sa text yun. Ang photography, parang pagsusulat yun in images. Kaya ang photo essay, nandun sa mga pinakita ko itong elements na yun. Tignan natin kung nasan, ha? Dapat daw, back. Dapat next. Ayan. Dapat daw may lead photo, may scene photo, portraits, details, close-up, signature shots, or the key moments, and the clincher, the ending. Di ba? May pinakita ko kanina sa inyo. So, yan yung equivalent ng lead when you're writing. Pare, di ba? Grabe dun sa Marawi. So, yun yung lead mo pag nagkikwento. That's the lead photograph in a photo essay. Scene photo. Di ba? Pinakita natin ganito nangyari dun sa lugar. That's another kind of scene photo. Portraits. And portraits ni Chief of Staff nun. Pinapakita mo kung sino ang actors dun sa iyong storya. Ayan, portraits ng ordinary soldiers. Details, what happened to the place? Diba? Details on the story. How are the soldiers now after the war? Diba, edgy sila, bigla nilang binakbakan. Details of the place. Close-up shots, diba, pinapakita mo yung up close, what happened to the place. Yan, diba? Signature shots, yun nga, the key moments in the story. Kamusta naman na yung mga sundalo ngayon? Diba? Kamusta naman yung mga residente? So pinapakita mo, 7 elements lang, makakabuo ka ng photo essay. And the clincher, your conclusion, after the war, after showing the images of Marawi, what is the takeaway of your audience? So you leave them with an image that they can decide what will happen to Marawi after the war. Pwede rin, ito dark and foreboding, di ba? Tapos may ibon. Hindi mo alam kung may peace in the future. Pero pwede rin kuha light. Iniba mo lang yung ilaw, yung isa dark, yung isa light, pero ito mas uplifting. Pero nandyan pa rin yung war, may nasusunog eh. Pero may lilipad din na ibon. So iba ang ino-communicate mo na ending. Probably there's hope for Marawi after the war. So ganun nga ang pagkikwento. Kung yun ang pinakitang photo essay, yun ang paragraphs. Pero anong naglalaman ng paragraphs? Diba may sentences? So your individual photographs, those are your sentences. Dapat bumubuo na ng who, what, when, where ang inyong isang litrato. Dapat nakakapagbigay na siya ng isang storya sa isang litrato. Dapat yung sentence niyo buo, di ba? May grammar, may subject and verb. Di ba? May adjective, adverb. Ganun ang photography din. So, magbibilisan ko na kasi kulang na ng oras. So, may sense of place, pinakita natin yun. Ayan, sense of place. May graphic elements, leading lines, papunta doon sa Marawi. May rule of thirds. So, pakita natin yung example, rule of thirds yan. Ayun, yung puno nasa rule of thirds. Rule of thirds din, tanyo yung sundalo, nasa rule of thirds, at saka yung ibon. Rule of thirds din yan. Yung quality of life. Kanina, nabanggit ni Sandra, yung isang, di ba, iba yung ilaw dun sa mga bata. So, tinatanong niya kayo, what do you see in this photograph? Ganun yun. Pag naiba yung quality of life, mag-iiba yung storya. Just by using the light as one of your grammar in photography. Emotion, very important, yung look ng face ng mga actors doon. Juxtaposition, saan ka nakakita ng simbahan na may mga religious icons, pero butas-butas? Diba? Juxtaposition yun. Fast track lang natin, mood, diba? Explain ko na kanina. Impact ng picture. Point of entry, yung ibon, napansin nyo? Papunta dun sa desolated na lugar. Visual perspective, ito perspective ng residente. Paano kung nakatayo ka dun? Ano na nangyari sa'yo kung residente ka? Layering, yung several information in one photograph. Visual surprise, yun nga. And of course, yung moment, decisive moment. Mahabang usapan yun, ibang araw na lang. Ibig ko lang sabihin, your text story nga is like, your text story has body, the same with photographs. May paragraphs, and your photographs are sentences. Yan yun. 7 elements of a photo essay, yan yung paragraph mo. And your language of the image, yun naman ang sentences mo. So, screen cap nyo na lang yan. Yan yung mga tools for writing in photographs, in images. Tapos, pag may time kayo, screen cap na lang rin. Ayan kasi, the single photographs go into your photo essay and the photo essay go into your story when you put them all together. Etong samples, paki-screen cap na lang kasi wala tayong oras. Pero those are some of where my images are featured in these stories. Meron pa ba? Yun na lang muna yata lang. Thank you very much. Sorry, napakabasta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sever. Your work reminds